I've received a lot of requests for some movements that will help loosen up the shoulders. So today I'm going to offer 4 different movements that can help open up the shoulder area and loosen up some of the ligaments in the shoulders. If you are concerned about this, you may want to check with your doctors to see which movements are accessible for you. These movements are very gentle, and as always, I urge you to listen to your own body and only do the movement as your body dictates. So we're going to begin by using my favorite prop, which is the wall. Sit up next to the wall, and if you have tight hips or hamstrings, please sit on a blanket or several blankets so that you can comfortably bring your back close to the wall, tucking your shoulder blades, lengthening the back of your neck so that the crown of your head sits easily on the wall and your chin is slightly tucked. Take a few breaths here to bring your attention into your practice. We're going to begin with the first movement, which is a simple movement of the head from side to side. Be very mindful of keeping your chin tucked and the crown of your head back close to the wall as you gently turn your neck from side to side in a smooth, even motion. Keep the rest of the body relaxed. Breathe in as you move to the center and exhale to the side. You may continue doing this movement as long as it feels comfortable. I recommend between 5 and 10 side-to-side movements on each side. And then come back to the center. You can also do this movement laying down on your mat. Our next movement is going to take us down onto the mat. You can keep your knees bent in this movement if you have tight hips, or you could straighten out your legs. Again, tuck the shoulder blades under. Make sure that your chin and forehead are level, and if they're not, again, place a blanket behind your head so that your chin doesn't stick up in the air. And take a few breaths here to allow your body to get comfortable in the supine laying down position. And then lift your arms straight up in the air, keeping those shoulder blades tucked. Cross them by bending the elbows and stacking the forearms on top of each other, and gently begin to take the elbows from side to side. Listening to your body. Don't force the movement. And as you continue through the movement, you may notice that your shoulders will release a little bit more and you'll get greater mobility so that you can bring your elbows down to the mat. Remember to inhale as you come to the center. Exhale as you take the elbows to the side. And I'm going to come back to the center and show you another variation of this movement. Keeping the same alignment, you can make circles with your elbows, which will again increase the range of motion in that shoulder socket. Again, doing between 5 and 10 rotations or side-to-side movements in each direction. Breathing smoothly, making the movement a smooth flow to your body. I call this my WD-40ing my shoulders for the day. And then drop your arms down, tuck your shoulders back, and just notice if your shoulders do feel like they make a greater connection with the mat, having been lubricated and moved. So again, making our way back up to seated, bend your knees. If they're not already bent, roll over to your side and come up to seated. We're going to do our third shoulder movement. And this one involves the shoulder blades. So think about your shoulder blades at like two square shovels in the back. Sit up tall, keep your chin tucked, ears directly over the shoulders, shoulders in line with the hips. And bring your elbows in close. Think about the inner corners of your shoulder blades, the ones that are closest to the spine on the top inner corner. And squeeze the shoulders back, trying to make the top inner corners of the shoulder blades meet. And squeeze, 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 and then scrape the arms down, lowering the shoulders, and relax. Okay, now we're going to think of the middle of the inner part of the shoulder blade. Squeeze the shoulder blades together in the middle, bringing the shoulders back, and then scrape the shoulders down and release. Last one, lower inner corner of the shoulder blades, and this time I like to open up my forearms, keeping the shoulders back and down, and I'm going to squeeze those inner lower corners of my shoulder blades down, keeping the arms open, and then I'm going to lower the shoulders down and release. And then just let my hands rest on my shins and take a few breaths. You should feel a nice opening in the front of your body from that movement. All right, final movement is variation of humble warrior, if you've done that with your yoga practice. First, you want to be sitting up tall. If you have any tendency to fold over like this when you're sitting on your mat, you want to be sitting up on some cushions or sit in a chair, forward in a chair for this movement. So sitting tall, ears over shoulders. Take the hands behind the back and clasp them there. And then roll your shoulders back and begin to straighten out your arms. Listen to your body. If your shoulders stop here and you say this is a good enough stretch, stay here. If you want more of a stretch, you can begin to straighten out the arms. And breathe. And then for an even greater stretch, you can begin to lift the arms up behind you. And breathe. And for those adventurous spirits who want an even greater stretch, keeping the back straight, fold the torso over the legs, and lift the arms even more. And breathe and hold. Hold as long as is comfortable. Come back up to seated. Release the arms. So I hope you enjoyed these 4 movements that will greatly increase the mobility and openness of your shoulders and counteract some of the movements that we do during the day that have us sitting so forward. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope that this has been helpful. Namaste.